150 degrees. Holy crap, it's hot in here. What's going on, guys? Ben from JK Gear and Gadgets, and welcome back to another video. We're gonna be installing a set of hardtop headliners in the Jeep, do a full review, do some testing, and see how well they work and talk about if they are worth it. Let's get started. Now that summer is here, the temperature is climbing, it's getting really hot, and I've noticed that the interior of my Jeep is extremely hot. So what we have here is a package from Hothead Headliners. Let's talk about that real quick. So I know a lot of you guys might not know what the purpose of a Jeep hardtop headliner is, but it's really simple. It's the same theory of any other car. The roof on most vehicles have padding. It has a headliner in there to help stop some of that heat from the roof radiating into the cab. Jeep Wranglers don't have that. The hardtop is just plain, and it does get extremely hot. So in this video, we're gonna be testing out a set of Hothead headliners, and we're gonna see how well they work. But there's one thing I wanna show you guys before we actually start this video. Once I receive the box in the mail, I'll open it up to see everything, and I will say that I am extremely impressed. So right off the bat, when you open up a package that's packaged and just like organized like this, it lets you know that you ordered from a company that's very detail oriented. So what we have here is our instructions, stickers, and of course all of the actual headliners themselves. We're gonna come back to this and open it up and check everything out, but I just wanted to show you guys how well packaged this is, and it really lets you know that you bought a good product. And I will say that I was expecting a little thinner material. I was thinking it was just gonna be like a headliner kit, but this stuff is actually really well built. But that's enough for now. We will come back to this. The more important thing is that I want to actually check the temperature of the roof, the hardtop, and see how hot it gets inside the cab. What we have here is a little thermal imager to check all the temps. Let's get started. It's about 82 degrees outside, and I want to show you guys a few things that I've noticed with the thermal imager. So just like the roof of a house, roof of a car is very similar. That's going to be the hottest portion. Now on a house, it's actually insulated inside your attic. You guys know that. Hopefully you should know that, and hopefully your house is insulated. But we're going to do a few checks with the thermal imager. And as you can tell right here, of course, the hardtop on the Jeep is the hottest spot. It's red, as well as the roof of the house. But let's actually get some temps. So right now, the hardtop itself, exterior, is 135 degrees on the side right here. Let's check and see how hot the top is. We can tell that up here on the roof, once again, is about 130 degrees on top of the Jeep. Now my question is, how hot is it inside the Jeep? If the roof of the Jeep is 130 degrees, how is that affecting the interior of the Jeep? Sure, when we're driving around town, we have the AC on, but if 130 degrees is radiating into the Jeep, the AC is gonna have a hard time keeping up and cooling that down. So I'm really excited to see if this headliner kit is gonna help bring interior temps down. But once again, we have to check the interior. So let's do some testing before all this hot air gets out of here. So right there, 150 degrees on this hardtop right there. Yeah, it definitely feels like it. So yeah, let's, oh, what happened? Is it too hot for this thing to start working? Turn it on, I guess. I guess it timed out. So yeah, 150 degrees up there. Check out the rear. Oh, 145, 150 degrees. So with an 82 degree day, with the sun out, it makes the hardtop about 130 degrees, which radiates inside the cab and turns it to about 150 degrees up here. You're pretty much sitting in a sauna. Those are some crazy numbers. As you can tell, that's extremely hot. And I'm really hoping that this headliner kit's gonna bring down those temps. Now, Hothead Headliners has offered to do 10% off for this video. So in the video description, I'll have a link to their website. If you follow that link, everything on their website will automatically be applied 10% off once you get to the checkout. Now, if you don't use that link and you just go to their website, use the code JKG and symbol G, so JK Gear and Gadgets. They do also offer a 15% off military discount. You can't use them both, but if you are military, shoot them an email or call them, tell them you're watching the JK Gear and Gadgets video, and he will hook you up with a 15% off discount once you give him all your military info. But that is enough talking. Let's go over there, see what comes in the box, start the install, and finally test these things out. All right, so here's the box. We got everything we're gonna need. Have the install instructions, little piece of cardboard to help push down on these to get the adhesive to stick, little piece of sandpaper to help scuff up the hardtop, of course, our stickers. Now, I decided, oh man, to get the extra option for the sound assassin strips. These are gonna go underneath our headliners, and it's supposed to help make the Jeep a little quieter, bring down some of that road noise. They say anywhere from 3 to 6 decibels. I don't have a way to check that, so we're just gonna have to see how quiet it makes the Jeep. This is an extra add-on feature. It does cost a few more, but we will see if it's worth it. Comes with a roller to also help push down the adhesive. Now, one thing I will say is that it's best to do this install when it's nice and warm out. If you do get this in the winter and it's pretty cold, try to bring your Jeep in a nice warm garage, turn your heat on inside to really heat up the hardtop so this adhesive sticks good. But let's go ahead and open up our package. I guess we don't need this. Now that we have everything laid out, I'm gonna let it kind of warm up in the sun a little bit so the adhesive sticks really well. But let's check these out. So as you can tell, it has that matting on the back. We have our 3M tape here, and that's how thick it is compared to my finger. But these are made in the USA, and it looks like they're made to a pretty good spec. I'm gonna start off with the front, the Freedom panels, and let's talk a little bit on the install. We have the instructions right here, and all we're gonna need is a clean rag and acetone. Everything else comes in the kit for the install. But it says right here, do not remove your hardtop. It's easier with the hardtop on. So you know what they say, you don't have to leave your hardtop on, but it helps. Hopefully you got that reference. So what we're gonna do is grab the sandpaper here and scuff the hardtop. We don't have to sand it, we just have to scuff it. Now the adhesive strips are gonna go on the raised portion. The sound assassin strips are gonna go on the lower portion. So to sand this or scuff it, we're just gonna do about 3 or 4 wipes. Nothing crazy. As you can tell, there's a bunch of little dust particles flying around. But the big thing is that we don't actually have to sand it. We just really wanna lightly scuff it so the adhesive sticks to it. What we're gonna do next is grab our acetone and a clean rag and wipe down the top. Now, I will say that Hothead Headliners has a bunch of videos on the install. This video, I'm not gonna do a step-by-step install on these. I'm gonna show you the highlights of it. But if you do decide to get them, I'd recommend checking out his videos where he pretty much shows you step-by-step exactly how to do this. Now that the top is prepped, we have the Sound Assassin in, it's time to actually install this. There's 3 strips with 3M tape. We're gonna put a little bit of blue painter's tape on the front edge where they run along so we know where to press against. Position our headliner, slide it in, and of course, as you can tell, we are gonna have to remove our, if we have a sunshade or anything like that, that's gonna have to be removed before we actually install this. We're gonna kinda position it where we want. I'm gonna hop up in the Jeep to help push it. Fits very snug, very nice, lines up perfectly. And start pushing. I'm gonna start with the middle with the cardboard. You wanna push for about 2 to 3 seconds. Well, seems like it's on there pretty good. Give it a little test. Yeah, so it's not coming down at all. That's good. One side done. Very easy to install. Do those same steps over on the passenger side Freedom panel. So far, the install is going extremely simple and really easy. That's pretty much the same thing, simple and easy. But there's a few things I want to show you guys. So right off the bat, it definitely gives the Jeep's interior a much nicer, refined look. I can already tell that it's a lot cooler up here, but I'm not gonna make any judgments until the end of the video. If you're doing this, I'd recommend going ahead and doing the Sound Assassin. I mean, since, I don't know, I guess I'll wait till the end of the video to see how well they actually do. But there's no way for me knowing if it's the headliners making a difference or the Sound Assassin strips. So we'll see. But in my theories, since we're putting them on, we might as well go the extra step and put the Sound Assassin strips in before we do all this. Because once these headliners are in, you're not pulling them off. They stick really well. So we're gonna do the back the same as the front. I already sanded it or scuffed it, wiped it down with the acetone. It's time to put in the Sound Assassin strips and place our hardtop liner, headliner. Now there's one thing, I should have taken out this rack a couple days ago, but you know how I am, guys. I don't like preparing too much. Plus this is real life, like honest, even if I wasn't making this video, I would find a way to work around it. I'm not gonna rip this out and pretend that it was never there. Like I did with the sunshade. Yeah, I did take the sunshade off to make this a lot easier. I mean, you have to take your sunshade off, and that's a good talking point. All this is compatible with your sunshade. So once this is all done, you can put your shade back on and still have the, you know, ability to throw your Jeep top off in the summer and, you know, not get sunburnt. But man, it is hot now. So that's enough talking. Let's finish up the rear real quick. Now, in the instructions, it did say it's easier if you leave the hardtop on. I say that's up to you. Personally, if it was me, after doing this, I would probably take off the hardtop. But I know they probably put that in the instructions because a lot of people don't like taking their top off, or it might be a little too hard for them to do by themselves. This job is possible with the hardtop on, and it's really not that hard, but if you have stuff like a cargo rack in the way, it might be possible. It might be even easier to take the top off. So that's up to you, but if I was to do it again, I would take the top off and put it on a mat or in the grass so it doesn't get damaged. Oh man, this is gonna be fun. How are we supposed to sneak this in here? All right, just like, that's not bad. Not bad at all. This is gonna be interesting trying to do it with the cargo rack in here. Yeah, let's see how this works. So I got the back side started loosely. I'm gonna hop inside the Jeep and start that other front side. Oh, that wasn't too bad. Definitely not fun. All right. Whew. It's getting hot out here, man. And we're on to the last piece of the puzzle, the rear side window mount thingies. Pretty much they go around the rear window on the hatch. As you can tell, I already did the driver's side. Now these are an optional piece. The standard kit does not come with these. It is an additional charge, but I figured since I'm making the video, might as well go ahead and do these. You know, not really sure how much more beneficial these side pieces are, especially because most of the heat's gonna come from the top, but it definitely does clean up and go with the theme of the look. Now I went ahead and installed that because I figured it'd be really hard to film that side with the cargo basket in the way, the power tank. But I did notice one thing, and I am very glad I noticed it now doing this install. So what happened is when I installed my cargo rack a while back, I did a video on it, I had to move my fire extinguisher mount. I did this install with the hardtop on, and I didn't realize that now with it on this side, there's no easy way to get to the fire extinguisher. I can't reach the straps back here, and if you go around to the back of the Jeep, there's just no way to get that. So I am gonna have to move the fire extinguisher to a different location. If any of you guys have any good, you know, fire extinguisher mounting tips, if you have somewhere really cool that this cargo rack and my, you know, with my setup, if you have something that will work, let me know in the comments. I'd like to move that because it's a fire extinguisher is something you want to get to quick when you need to have it. But let's get back on subject. We're gonna put this on. This is very easy to prep the hardtop. All we have to do is wipe down the perimeter of the window with acetone and a clean rag. And this kit, all we use is Velcro. We're gonna peel off the Velcro strips, stick it to the hardtop, and then put this bad boy on. Slide it right back in until it fits around the window, and just press it all on. Super simple. We're done. Very simple install. Maybe took me 30 minutes. 40 probably because I was doing the video, but it went on really easy. But I really can't test the temperature anymore because, as you can tell, it's now shady where the Jeep is. I really don't have enough room to pull forward. So we'll have to wait till tomorrow before we can do the temperature test. But while I was installing this, I could only think of one thing, like a possible con, is how dirty will these get? If we're off-roading, there's mud, you know, if we have the doors off and mud flings up here, if it's very dusty. So we're gonna test that out real quick, see how muddy that stuff gets and how easy it is to clean up. So let's do like a dust simulation first. Try not to get the rocks up in here. There we go. That's a good amount of dust. I mean, you can tell on my hand it's already really dusty. So what we're gonna do is see how easy it is to clean off. Okay, so it doesn't even stick that much. At least dust doesn't. So we get a rag, let's just wipe it off. Almost like it was never even there. I'm sure we could use a vacuum too. Okay, so it passed the dust test. What about mud? Let's get some mud, let's make some mud real quick. Oh yeah, I can see wheeling around and getting some of this stuff slinging all over the Jeep. If this stains it, I'm gonna be really mad. All right, here goes nothing. Ugh. Yep, that's a good amount right there. Let's see what happens. I don't know what kind of material this is, but it's almost like magic. It's like waterproof. Yeah, you can see where it got a little wet, but all the mud just comes right off it. So that takes one of my worries away, knowing that it's not gonna get covered in like stain, whereas like a traditional headliner gets stained very easy. Maybe they use some special fabric, I don't know. But yeah, that passed the muddy, dirty test. Let me go clean up. And I mean, worst case, if it does get really dirty, you could just use a vacuum and scrub it off, maybe spray some carpet cleaner on there, vacuum it up, you'll be good to go. Yeah, I don't know. It definitely does look good. I'm really excited to see how well this actually, you know, insulates the Jeep. But if you look, it looks really nice. Gives the Jeep a whole new look. It's very clean, a little bit modern, and I'm very impressed just with the look so far. Now, one other thing great about having a headliner is that I know a lot of people love patches. I am not a big patch person. These are the only two patches I have. Got them at an event from Cornerstone Autism Center. Those are the only patches I have. But if you're big into patches, you got your little place to put your Velcro patches up here. I know that's really big and popular in the overlanding scene and whatnot. I'm probably not gonna run any patches, but it is a great way to put patches inside your interior. So tomorrow we're gonna come back out, get some temperatures, and see how well this actually works. In the meantime, I'm gonna go drive around, do some testing, see how the road noise is. That way we can talk about that. It's time to go and do some testing. So I've actually had this installed for about 3 days now, and the past 2 days it's been a little bit too cloudy to do a fair comparison. Today it's finally sunny. It is a little bit warmer than when we did originally take all those readings. That day when we started out with the before, it was 82 degrees. Today is 89 degrees. So I'm assuming the temps are gonna be higher. However, I'm curious to see how much of a difference it makes, even though the temperature isn't exactly the same. So we're gonna start off with the exterior hardtop temp. Just like we did before, we are going to read the hardtop right there, about 143. We'll round up to 145. Let's go inside and see what the interior temp is. And let's see. With 145 degree top, it is right around, let's see, let it round 137. So 137 degrees. We will actually come back to that in a minute, and I'll write all those numbers down so we can do some before and after comparisons. But I want to show you guys, you know, that still seems hot, but it's a lot cooler than 150 degrees on the cooler day. So we'll talk about that in a minute, but I want to show you some cool stuff with the FLIR. So when we're looking, let me zoom in a little bit, you can see the hot spots from where the headliner is not installed. So right here is still part of the hardtop, but the blue section is a lot cooler than the bare white spot of the hardtop right there. So you see that temperature difference? That's crazy. And you can see it all around. Yep, right there. So the headliner kit definitely does work. So right here, 138. But if we actually get to the point where there's no headliner, let's see, it's hard to do all this. Right there, 144, 150. Come back over here, 152. So it's definitely showing that this headliner kit works, and it does. I've been noticing it. So I really wanted to show you guys this portion of the video because I kind of have to prove it, you know, for video's sake, is showing you numbers. So before, without the hardtop headliner, the day it was actually, the air temp was 82 degrees. The top got up exterior to 135 degrees, and the interior was up to 150 degrees on the hardtop. Now today, with an 89 degree day, the top was 143 degrees and the interior was 135 degrees. So on a hotter day, it actually lowered the interior temp by 15 degrees. So if we were out here on another 82 degree day, I would assume this would go down another, you know, down to 130, maybe 125. Probably 130 would be a good round number, but that lowers it 20 degrees. Now 20 degrees might not seem like much, but once you start turning on your AC, it's a lot easier for your AC to keep up with a temp that's 20 degrees lower. Now, I've been driving around like this. The road noise is almost completely gone from the hardtop. It is crazy. Here in a few minutes, we're gonna go drive around and kind of show you how clear it sounds. But you can definitely tell that the AC is able to keep up a lot easier. And overall, it makes the Jeep just feel a little more comfortable. But that is enough talking. These definitely do work. Let's go hit the road and show you guys. Hopefully it can record some of the, like, how quiet the Jeep actually is now. Let's hop in and go for a ride. Well, we're on the road. Like I mentioned, I've been driving around for the past 3 days, and overall, the headliner kit has really blown me away. Sorry, I'm trying to drive and talk to the camera at the same time. But the few things that I did notice is that the top just sounds completely silent. Before, there was wind noise. You could hear that rushing over, and honestly, it has eliminated all of that. I don't know if it's due to the sound assassin strips or just the headliners themselves, but overall the road noise from the hardtop is completely gone. I still hear the exhaust a little bit, I hear the rumble from the tires, but overall the Jeep is so much quieter. And I will say that the AC is able to keep up a lot better. On a 90 degree day like today, I can keep up. Sorry, I gotta turn around up here, I'm driving around. I can actually keep up with the temperature of the Jeep just on the first or second AC setting. So, do hardtop headliners work? Yes. They do reduce road noise, hardtop noise, wind noise, and they do make the Jeep more comfortable. Now, I know a lot of you guys are probably, you know, if you're a hardcore off-roader and you're trying to build your Jeep, you know, better for off-roading, you don't have to have hardtop headliners. But for those of you that are into, you know, daily driving your Jeep and you're trying to make it more comfortable, I definitely think this headliner kit is going to help you. I wish I would have gotten it sooner. I'm not gonna lie, it's very comfortable. Overall, it makes the interior feel a lot nicer. Plus, it does look really nice. It's a very, very nice color, and it really ties in the entire interior to make it look more like a modern Jeep, or just a modern vehicle. So a few things I do want to talk about. They make them for the JK, the JL, the Gladiator, as well as LJs and TJs with the hardtop. So if you do decide to get it, remember that there is a 10% off discount code. All that info is going to be in the video description. For you active duty military guys, 15% off. Definitely can't beat that. But that is enough for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more next week. Actually, this week, I am heading to Roush Creek for the weekend. I don't really want to make it like a group trip yet because I'm still have a few things to test out on the axles. Just swapped the springs, gonna test out the bump stops, gotta check out all my travel and everything. So I'm gonna test out at Roush Creek. If I see you there, make sure to say hi. Of course, I'm gonna do an awesome wheeling trip video, so stay tuned for that dropping soon. But yeah, we are gonna be doing some group rides pretty soon up at Roush Creek, hopefully Windrock, maybe down in Gulches. I'd like to meet a lot of you guys and actually wheel with you on the trails, but it's hot. I need to turn my AC on. I actually had to turn it off for this video because my AC is loud. Listen to this. The little fan over there is like, wee. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.